Welcome to our client spotlight. Today we have Chris Pearson from 3Beacon Marketing. Thank you for coming here today, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to share how we've worked together and just share with people what's going on.
Absolutely. Okay, to kick things off, I'd like to let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do, and tell us a bit more about 3Beacon.
Yeah, for sure. So, like you said, my name's Chris Pearson. I'm one of the co-founders at 3Beacon Marketing. My co-founder Aaron and I have been running the company for about 5 years, and we help specifically direct-consumer e-com brands scale profitably. We do that through acquisition and retention, so Meta, Google, email, SMS, and in some cases direct mail. And we do that with using our what's called our North Star strategy, which we've been developing over the last 10 years or so.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. So Chris, we've been working together for about 9 months already,
Mhm.
so it's been quite a ride. Essentially going back to when we started, like to double click a bit on what were you kind of struggling before signing with us, and what did your business look like at the moment? What were you looking for?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Aaron and I were essentially in a spot where we wanted to grow our client roster, wanted to grow the team, and just build a business essentially, right? And we came up to a decision or just a conflict of a problem we're trying to solve essentially, and it's time and opportunity cost. So we didn't have enough time to take care of everything in the business. So we either had to choose to go get a new client or work on an existing one. Both of them give us money, but we had to pick. And so there's an opportunity cost there. And the timing on the referral of us being introduced to you guys was just absolutely perfect. We've been in AI and just kind of working around the tools for about 2 years, but actually implementing in the business we didn't do until we started working with you guys. And ultimately, that was the problem we were trying to solve is we don't have enough time to do everything, and it was getting too expensive to choose one or the other, whether it was to get a new client, keep an existing one, work on the business first, grow the business. Like it was just getting to be too much. And so the business itself kind of stalled. We weren't really growing as much as we wanted. And we started looking around going, okay, do we hire people? Do we hire and delegate? Do we automate? Can we simplify things? Do we get rid of stuff? Like we were just asking those questions. And when we got referred to you guys helped us see what automation can actually do in a business, as opposed to just using like the browser version of ChatGPT to ask, do some research. So that's kind of where the business was, and we were stuck not growing because we didn't know how to use automation yet.
Definitely. And it's also sort of the dichotomy that businesses have. Whereas if you want to go with hiring someone, but that's going to come with not only obviously money costs, but also a lot of time consumed on not only hiring but also training and all that stuff. So definitely two paths there to go. And when you were there on the fence, how did you sort of decide that it was right at the right time, and what was the deciding factor there?
I think the because we did talk to other agencies, if you will, about automation, and I think the big thing with you guys that stuck out is that you were willing to problem solve with us. So other agencies were like, "Hey, this is the automation. Here's the path. Here's the system. And if you don't use our tools, the software's in between, then we can't help you. Like you have to change parts of your business to work with us." What you guys presented and the way you guys basically proposed things is keep the software you're using. We'll build the system with that software. So, and while that may in some cases cause a little bit extra time to build things, but it allowed us to actually put automation in place without having to change who we are and what we're doing in the systems we already know. Because as you probably know, and other business owners probably know, is if you go from like Monday to ClickUp to Asana, yeah, they're all project management tools, but they all operate a little bit different, and there's a learning curve. And so to implement automation and cause new learning curves because of new softwares, you guys didn't do that. You're like, hey, just use the softwares you have. We'll connect the dots. Let's map it out and go from there. So that was probably the biggest deciding factor was just, again, time, getting time back and not having to invest so much into learning new things.
Definitely, definitely. I think it's fundamental, and we try to do that with every client that we have, which is us being able to fit in their puzzle, not the other way around. We can do both. I mean, there's systems that are more sort of off the shelf solutions, but with your case, it was different. So I feel like that was the right approach to take. In these 9 months, we've built so many infrastructures and solutions. What have your business results been since September? What are the wins or milestones that you've achieved? Yeah, feel free to share any KPIs, anything that's worth discussing.
Yeah, absolutely. So just for some context, some of the systems you guys have helped us build, we've worked through the onboarding system. Prior to us working together, we were doing that all manually. So it was as soon as a client or a prospect said, "Yeah, we want to work with you guys," we'd have to manually, or we were manually saying, "Okay, cool, deal one, send them the create the agreement, send them the agreement, create the invoice, send them the invoice, send them an onboarding form, have them fill that out, manually create the folders where that those assets are actually going." And it was 2 to 3 hours per client, sometimes four, depending on the client and just process and where we were at with them, of time that we had to do manually. That one system that you guys helped us build, I think it was the first big one we actually worked together on. It's now down to like 4 clicks. Like literally, I put deal one, modality, and then they fill out the form and hit submit. That's three. And then the fourth one is just making sure they're in Slack. And like everything else from deal one to all the folders in Google are created. We have all the info we need from the client because they filled out the form and hit submit. It's 4 clicks and it's done. So really, the time we got back is hours and hours and hours. Every time we sign a new client, it's 3 to 4 hours of work that we don't have to do now. So that one system has gotten us back dozens and dozens of hours currently with working together for the last 9 months, and then also in the future whenever we sign somebody new. So the amount of time we got back is just off that one system is amazing. So that's one example. Because of the onboarding system, I can sell at a higher velocity because I'm on the front end doing the marketing and sales. Aaron's on the back doing the ops and admin and finances and things. I can actually sell at a higher velocity because now it's a couple clicks and they're set up. I hand that and introduce them to Aaron and he can run with it. We've been able to onboard a handful of clients because of it, and the system, we've had some back and forth with some tweaks, which is great too. You guys are super open to questions and like, hey, can we adjust this piece and make it do this instead? And you guys are on top of it, making it happen. So onboarding new clients, we're getting hours and hours and hours of our time back as business owners trying to grow something. And the ability, again, back to the problem solving, like the ability to say, okay, E and Tomas and the team, can you guys look at our business? What else would you automate? Like you have suggested stuff, and then we also asked like, hey, what else can you guys automate? And you guys find things. There's things that we didn't even know we could automate that you're like, hey, if you automate that, what if we do that? And that's hours of time back that we don't have to worry about anymore. So I think ultimately the outcome and the main thing that Aaron and I are just really appreciate is problem solving. You guys do that on the go, and we're getting time back by working with you guys. And that is like the pristine, most valuable asset when it comes to growing a business, is having that time to actually make decisions and do other things as opposed to click a button to make sure a form is submitted.
Love that. Love that. And I think that's, the sort of the path that we take in where we try to, meet you in the middle of that Venn diagram between consulting and actual implementation. That is very important for us. I mean, going from the onboarding system, I know right now we are ending some iterations on a deep research system for email marketing purposes. I don't know if you want to share a bit about that. I would assume the edge over your competitors that you have over that is tremendous.
Yeah, so we can talk through the research piece too, because you're also working with Aaron on the meta ad system side too, which is meta in general is just a headache. If you're in marketing, you know it's a headache. And you guys have found a way to automate working with their API in their system to make his job easier as a media buyer, as a strategist, as leading clients, as a fractional CMO in many cases. So that's been a huge win. On the marketing brand research and like customer research side of things, if you're to make it tangible, depending on the brand, anywhere from 20 to 40 pages of research is done within like 15 minutes at most. And we have them answer maybe 4 or 5 questions, and they hit submit, and it crawls the pages that they give us, crawls their website, looks at various other sources. And the research we're getting is just like who the brand is, what's their differentiation, what are some positioning pieces that we can make them stand out among the thousands of other brands selling supplements, and then diving into the customers, like what are their problems, what are their pains, who are they, what do they resonate with, what do they not resonate with, and that's all based off what the brand gives us and what they're trying to do with their mission. The ability to take that down from, I mean, I'm typically on the research side. Aaron does is a part of it too when it comes to ads, but like when it comes to like deep client and offer research, hours wise, it's anywhere from 20 to 30 hours just to dig in and get that all done, and that happens within like 15 minutes at most per brand. So literally half a week of work of research and just digging in and figuring out who this brand is and how we can make them unique. It's done in 15 minutes. Like it's been phenomenal, and the doc getting that back, and clicking the button, going and having a sandwich or something and coming back and saying, okay, this is all done. And reading through it, it's actually solid stuff. It's stuff that either I would have had to have worked to dig through Reddit to find, or do some customer interviews or do sales calls interviews or anything like that. It's all there, and it's honestly been mind blowing that it's that easy now to get that type of information, and it just feeds into the other systems that you're helping us build, like with the email side of things, the SMS side of things, getting first draft assets for email, SMS, and marketing messages and things of that nature. So pulling from actual research, actually talking about the pain points, differentiation, the mechanisms, things of that like that, and using that in the assets. That's what makes the system you guys are helping us build different from just using ChatGPT or Claude or something like that. You don't have to prompt it every time. You just hit a button, put the information, hit a button, and it spits stuff out. I don't want it to sound too easy because you guys have worked your tail off building it, but that's how it feels on my side. It's click easy. Like, it's just a click button easy.
That's the objective.
Yeah.
To leverage all of that, this technology that's spearheading industries right now, and I feel like the leverage that you can get from this is so big, and if you implement it correctly, and that's the thing too. People come every so often and go like, hey, why would we build this gigantic infrastructure if I can just pay $20 for Claude or GPT? But the thing is that if you're just using this technology in that way, I mean, it's okay, it's just okay. Whereas you're using something that's for mass adoption, and be it for creating these deep research systems, being for automated content, anything that you wanted to use, it's going to sound so generic. Right now you go into LinkedIn and everyone sounds exactly the same. That's really not the way to go about it. I'm so happy to hear these results. I mean, that's what we do. Okay, I think we have a lot of golden nuggets here. I guess I have one of my last few questions. What would you say to someone that's on the fence or might be on the fence of working with Tecna?
How valuable is your time? That's the question I would ask them, because if you're a founder, you're an owner, you're growing a business, and you say that you charge $1,000 an hour for your time, and yet you're the one creating the agreement, sending the contract, making sure stripes fit, making sure that there's emails being created or designed, or the team's being managed, or your finances are being automated or taken care of, so the CPA can take care of stuff. How much is your time worth? Because if it's actually $1,000 an hour, you're going to make your time back tenfold, 20-fold, 100-fold in some cases with you guys, because going from spending 20 hours to do research down to 15 minutes, that's 20 grand that I just saved every time I do research because of you guys. So it's like just some basic sixth grade math shows me the value that you guys provide and have provided. And we're not just building that one system. I mean, there's onboarding, contract agreements, meta, marketing, brand research. I think we're on system like 7 or 8, and we've got a handful more. And you guys are always suggesting more stuff too, as you're working with other clients and working with us, and just like, hey, here's some other things that potentially could help. We are saving a truckload of time and money because you guys are automating stuff for us. So if your time's worth what you say it is, this is the right decision.
Couldn't have put it into better words. Okay, I think with that we can wrap it up. Chris, this has been amazing. Before we actually wrap, if anyone's looking for some email marketing, SMS marketing from pros in the industry, how can they find you?
Yeah, so we help e-com brands scale profitably. So we do that through paid and Meta and Google to start, and then email and SMS on the retention side. And you guys can find us at 3beaconmarketing.com, 3 spelled out, 3beaconmarketing.com. And if and when you guys do book a call to say, hey, let's talk, you'll actually talk with me. I'm the founder-led sales guy there. And then when you guys sign up, you'll talk with Aaron. So
absolutely, sounds great. Chris, again, thank you so much for your time. This has been amazing. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, E. Appreciate it.